Today we're checking out IB Sealer. It seems it's an unusual product. It seems to be heavy and thick. I would call it peanut butter-ish, but it's pretty heavy. So I don't know. We'll see how we do. I'm a little nervous about this one. It's drawing. It's a slower draw, but really, I would characterize this product as unusually sticky. It would be what I would like. You see how it's sticking to the side of the. Go ahead and zoom in on how it's coming up. A little bit slow. All right, I'm gonna try to scrape this off here. Okay, so I drew it up and I tried to get it through this tip, which is our small long tip, and I had to push so hard. So I would definitely not recommend our long tips. I'm gonna try this small tip that's shorter, because the shorter the tip, the easier it is for the material to go through, but I'm not sure it's gonna be real successful here. Let me try. I think we're gonna be into, yeah, it's not too bad. Actually like that. I'm having to put a decent amount of pressure, but to be honest with you, I don't mind it. Back here and do another run. I am noticing that I'm having a difficult time not getting stringers. And I think that is partly just the sticky nature of the product. I bet this stuff gets great adhesion. All right, I want to try a bigger tip. Let's see how that does. Okay, so I drew it up and I tried to get it through this tip, which is our small long tip, and I had to push so hard. So I would definitely not recommend our long tips. I'm gonna try this small tip that's shorter, because the shorter the tip, the easier it is for the material to go through, but I'm not sure it's gonna be real successful here. Let me try. I think we're gonna be into, yeah, it's not too bad. Actually like that. I'm having to put a decent amount of pressure, but to be honest with you, I don't mind it. Back here and do another run. I am noticing that I'm having a difficult time not getting stringers. And I think that is partly just the sticky nature of the product. I bet this stuff gets great adhesion. All right, I want to try a bigger tip. Okay. Stuff is sticky. Sticky, icky. Get it, picking the paper up. That's pretty crazy. A lot easier to push down though, this medium tip. This feels also like it would work well with doing some seams. So let's go ahead. We're going to mimic, say, a seam, a vertical seam on a metal panel. See how that goes. Pretty smooth, but I'll say this much. I'm really getting to work out that bicep right there. Is really working out. I probably want to go to a bigger size tip for this, or potentially I might recommend moving straight up to our largemouth tube. Oh, this is money right here. I'm still having my pecs would be sore at the end of the day because I'm having to squeeze, but it's not bad. I'm getting really great even coverage. And on a vertical seam on a metal or on EPDM or an HTPO or PVC, I'm not sure what IB's spec is there, but if you just have this material, I mean, you're moving. Let's go ahead and try a largemouth tube and see what we think. All right, so this is our largemouth tube, and the trick here is this is a large orifice. The trick is to get that at a 45, and what you want to do is try to get that flat against the roof, and as you push down on the handle, it will float this up, and then you're applying almost about a 2.5 bead of material. So we'll go ahead and draw this up. I think I'm going to need to tighten my packings down, but for the sake of this is working fine. Sometimes with heavier materials, you'll be drawing the material so fast that it will actually leave the space in front of the tube empty. So you just kind of have to go a little bit slower with it. I'm thankful to IB for sending me this. And I think as the day went on and the tube got more and more lubricated and warmed up, I think you go a little faster. We'll start with that. Normally what I like to do is screw a little paintbrush to the inside of that. That works really well. All right, so this is the largemouth tube. And I've got it almost totally flat. And I mean, I'm really going as fast as I can. Now, if that's too heavy, I just press down a little harder and it manages my millages really close. I know you're gonna have a hard time seeing that, but I'm probably at about 60 mils right there. So I think that that's the strategy. Push down real hard, and then, man, it's smooth now. Those first couple passes were a little too thick. So super, super thick stuff like this, sometimes I don't think it really makes sense to be super legalistic about getting a full draw once you know what your millages are. But also these smaller 2.5 gallon pails sometimes slide around. They're difficult to pull out. But it's a good product. Now give your guys, don't be too hard on your techs. Give your guys 10-15 minutes to really get the speed, the rhythm down, and they'll fly a whole lot faster than, especially with this stuff, a whole lot faster than troweling or dipping a roller in, and I can imagine this stuff doesn't roll really well. So, my recommendations are as follows. If you're doing a metal roof with exposed fasteners, get that full draw and go down to our smallest tip that we sell. If you're going to be doing vertical seams on metal, I think the 1 inch, which would be our large tip, applied it really well. And if you're doing, get how it's self-leveling here, I love that. If you're doing seams on a membrane roof, I would recommend these largemouth tubes, which are, we get the best reactions from guys in terms of how much faster they're going. Sealing up seams on a mod bit, where you have seams every 3-4 feet, seams on a TPO, PVC, you can just go really, really fast and save a ton of labor with this largemouth tube. So anyway, thanks IB for sending me this. Really interesting product. It's very, very unique. And I like it. And I can see it's very effective, and I really like how it's smoothing out. I can imagine that this is really effective for fasteners. But I could also imagine that you have yet to find a very good applicator for this because of how thick and heavy that is. So I think the roof tube's a really good fit. So, all right, have a great night. Thanks, everybody.